Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle. And today we're taking a look at Cedric McMillan and Sergio Oliva Jr. Two big studs, I have to say. Cedric McMillan, 2020 Arnold Classic showing, he placed 6th. Sergio Oliva, this is him just the other day, the 2021 Arnold Classic. He also placed 6th. He was at the 2020 Arnold Classic rather, and he placed 5th, just ahead of Cedric McMillan. But there was some confusion, of course, on the point system, and I believe he actually increased his placing last year, 2020, from his remarkable posing routine, which he did capture the best routine. He also did in 2021, but it didn't seem to help his placing whatsoever. And like I said, I'm not going to get into all that. There's a lot of other YouTube channels that did cover that, the confusion of that. Anyway, let's run through the poses and see where these guys stack up against each other, because I'm doing this not because these two are big studs, big aesthetic studs, that is. These guys are confirmed athletes on in a show coming up, the Legion Sports Fest, October 22nd, I do believe it begins, and these guys are going to be vying for a first place finish, I am sure. Sergio, I like him better in this shot. Structurally speaking, he seems to be better than Cedric McMillan. His lats seem to be wider. First of all, let's get this out of the way. These guys are close to being the same height when standing there, but as they go through their poses, Sergio leans back. He takes away from his height. And I'm telling you right now, guys, watch the Arnold Classic 2020 and you'll see what I mean. I would give it to Sergio, though. Go to the front lat spread. Sergio did have the more dramatic V-taper in the front double. But it seems like when Cedric hits the front lat spread, his structure goes all to the opposite of crap. It goes fantastic. Look at this. It looks like he, in fact, has the better V-taper than Sergio now. So it's a pretty good matchup between these two. And I would wager to say that Legion Sports Fest would be one to watch for sure. These guys are neck and neck. Turn to the side here. And this is where Sergio Oliva, seen an interview on Dave Palumbo's RX Muscle. Him and Lee Priest also was there. And Sergio said he was too full. He was too full. The carbing up process, he doesn't compete enough, he said. He needs to compete more. He's been trying, but things happen, this and that and the other thing. He was supposed to compete one other time, and that's his aim. Compete more and get your dieting down. And there wasn't enough time to eat and to pump up. Things of that nature, guys. Stuff happens. And you can see it. Some slight distension in his midsection. But the guy is frigging huge. Huge. But Cedric McMillan, I mean, his conditioning far better. So using these two versions, sure, Cedric gets the side shot. And the side tricep, same thing. This is a blurry picture of Sergio Oliva. Not the best. But you can still see that for sure. Cedric has the tighter waistline. And like I said, that Sergio Oliva Jr., it's an excuse is an excuse, is what you... it's what happened. It's what happened. It's not an excuse. He just didn't have enough time to pump up, to eat, and things of that nature, and he needs to work on that. I remember hearing Sergio Oliva Sr. stories where he would pump up for 2 hours. So it's definitely... some guys can pump up better or faster, or, you know what I'm saying, guys? Takes Sergio a process, and he needs to compete more, like he said. Let's have a look at the back shots. And I can hear you guys now. But Mark's Max Muscle, why did you make Cedric 2 feet taller than Sergio Oliva Jr. when they're the same height? You just said it. You did. Well, have a look at this. Does that explain everything? That's it. These guys doing these poses, Cedric is about a foot taller. And anyway, this is how it would look. And Sergio, he does look bigger. But does his back look bigger? I think as he gets more conditioned, the back will look thicker. It looks meatier. He has the meat. Cedric has the traps. Close matchup, guys. Rear double. And same thing here. I can hear you guys now. Sergio, he does the splits. He's huge. I think Sergio will, in fact, have an edge in both the back shots if, and bodybuilding is a game of ifs, if he comes in more peeled. Needs slight more peel to combat against Cedric McMillan. Legs, hamstrings, Cedric really was dry here, guys. He really was. Keep in mind, Cedric, not the most striated glutes in all of the town. Looks like an upside-down kitty cat with those ears. I'm telling you right now, the long points in his glutes look like kitty cat ears. Of course, the Christmas tree could be an upside-down nose, and you could use those ears as fox ears. It could be a fox head. Either way, conditioning, probably too tight using these two versions. Go to the abs and thigh. And hold the bus. Hold the bus. Conditioning from the front. It appears that Sergio Oliva definitely has the better midsection. If I recall correctly, when I was watching the video, the 2020, Cedric McMillan, he had something wrong with his midsection. I believe one of his abs were popping out, were bulging out. Rolly Winkler had the same thing happen to him at one of the events. And it takes away from muscle separation of the abs. And the V-taper here, once again. It disappears for any pose that's not the front lat spread for Cedric McMillan. I think Sergio Oliva has a definite good chance to place against Cedric McMillan, but I mean, this is the end. This is the last pose. Most muscular. And Sergio was huge. Look at the size of the guy. I think he was twice as big. He said he was, 10 pounds bigger or 5 pounds bigger than he was the year before. But of course, there was some water. He called himself a water buffalo. I like how, he picks apart his physique. You don't hear a lot of the guys saying that. Like Ian Valliere, he's not going to say, yeah, my calves suck. Well, maybe he does. I don't watch all of his interviews. Maybe he does. I respect all these guys. Whether I say they need some more calves or they need some more lat insertions. Just an observation, guys. Because they're still the greatest physiques in all of the land. This is your winner of this comparison, and it may surprise some of you. May shock a lot of you as well. Sergio was the decisive winner in several poses. But Cedric McMillan was winning from both of the side shots. And the conditioning was a little too much from behind, I think. The hamstrings. Look at the hamstrings. Go back if you don't believe me. It's very dry for Cedric. Anyway, guys, a little drier for Sergio Oliva come the Legion Pro Show, or what's it called? The Legionnaire? French pilots? Anybody? French people can fly. They've been flying longer than anybody. Hot air balloons back in the, 1400s, 15, 16, one of them. Hit thumbs up on the video. This is a knowledgeable channel. You guys learn. You learn. Check out the information, though. I might be wrong. It is definitely the French people. Le fly, le Wright brothers, le fly. Have a great day.